Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is with my pleasure to give you all a walk around and tour of the 2021 Lincoln Aviator. The Lincoln Aviator is not a new model name. You'd have to go all the way back to 2002 when the Aviator name was first introduced to the Lincoln lineup, and essentially it was basically a smaller version of the Navigator, which was brand new at the time for the second generation, and it was heavily based also off of the Ford Explorer. Hence the same thing that we see today, as you can see here with this particular model. This one here is the reserve trim level, which is going to be the top of the line trim, but it also does have a couple of great features up its sleeve. You do have the luxury package, you do have the Elements package on this one, which does give you an air purification system. You do get heated seats for the front as well as ventilated seats for the front seats. You get heated rear seats, you get a 30-way power driver's seat, and a 28-speaker Revel Ultima sound system, which is pretty amazing in this one. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see, the key is traditionally in the same format as the Ford key, and you have all your functions here, which includes your lock, unlock, your remote start, your trunk release, and your panic button. To remote start the vehicle is make sure the vehicle is locked, and double click the remote start button twice, and the engine will start right up. And when you're finished, let's go ahead and double click the remote start button again, and the engine will shut right off. Starting off here in the front of the vehicle, as you can see, you're going to have Lincoln's waterfall-like grille, which is very nice to see in person. You do have your Lincoln emblem right there, followed by a front-facing camera. The reserve trim level is also going to give you front parking sensor standard. You do have your beautifully crafted lighting system, as you can see, LED curved-like daytime running lights with LED projector headlamps, as well as fog lamps down below. Checking out your wheels and tires, we are taking a look at a set of Continental Extreme Contact tires on 22-inch wheels. These measure 275, 40 R22s all the way around. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket, just come to the door handle. There's a touch sensor inside, just put your hand in, and the vehicle will unlock, allowing you to jump on inside. And then when you're done, close it up, tap this button right here on the keypad, and the vehicle will lock, and the mirrors will fold back in. The exterior color, this one is finished off in silver radiance with the ebony leather interior. Come over to the door panel. As you can see, you're going to have some hard touch plastic on top. However, you do have some soft touch material down here. You're going to have your seat adjustments here, followed by your 3-person memory seating. You have your Revel Ultima speaker system here in the door jamb. You're going to have your power locks here, your power mirror controls, your power windows. You do have a good storage pocket here, followed by an area for a small cup holder. Along with that smart key access system, the Aviator does come standard with push button ignition. By having the key fob in your pocket or within the vehicle itself, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Lincoln Aviator does come standard with a fully leather-wrapped rocking pinion power steering wheel with controls here on the left as well as on the right sides. Left is going to have your seat and track and volume controls, as well as your cruise control setting over here. To the right, you're going to have your pages, as well as things for your navigation, phone, audio, as well as your main menu for the instrument cluster. Coming up here, we're taking a look at a rather unique looking instrument cluster. It's fully digitalized, which is very cool. It's going to show your compass, what's playing on the audio system, the exterior temperature, your current speed, as well as your speedometer. To the left, you're going to have your coolant temperature. To the right, you're going to have your fuel range, as well as your miles to empty. Right in the middle is going to be your speedometer, or speed limiter rather, as well as your gear selector. With that being said, we can cycle through a couple different things here, and that's going to be pretty easy to do via the steering wheel. And as you can see, you're going to have things such as your trip one information, your fuel economy, your tire pressure monitoring system, as well as your calm screen. Coming down, you have different settings such as your display setup, as well as your oil life. Coming up here, you do have your navigation set up here as far as your menu is concerned, which includes your My Home, previous destinations, favorites, points of interest nearby. And then your Bluetooth connectivity is going to be on the left, as you can see there. Coming over here, we're taking a look at a large 10.1-inch infotainment system, and it does look really nice in this one. And it's really well, as you can see here, kind of focused more towards the driver, which I like. It's kind of up close rather than it being far away. And it does make it easier for you not only to see what's going on, but it's going to allow you to make adjustments a little bit easier versus if the screen was far away. As you can see here, this is what's playing on the radio. As you can see, you have your presets down here. You're going to have your sources here, which includes your AM, FM, and Sirius XM radio. You have direct tune followed by your HD radio, of which you can have up to 2 stations. And then you're going to have things such as your home button here, your temperature for your climate controls, current time, as well as the exterior temperature outside. You have your sub-menus down here, as you can see. So, with that said, let's go to our phone. You can add a phone to the vehicle via the vehicle's Bluetooth system. Come over to navigation. This is going to be the older navigation system here in the Aviator, but as you can see, it still looks really nice. You can search for destinations up here, as well as your navigation menus down here, which includes your screen view, traffic list, navigation systems, navigation settings, where am I, search, history, favorites, points of interest, as well as your home and work. These two, of course, you can save a home address here, as well as your work address. You have your zoom in functions here, followed by your compass. Come over to your apps. You have Add a Device, Find Mobile Apps, as well as Sirius XM Travel Link. And then come over to your settings. This is going to be a comprehensive list of things that you can enable, disable, change, and make it your own. And you have things such as your sound, Bluetooth, radio, vehicle, clock, phone, driver assistance, your Lincoln Way, which is going to be your mobile app. General settings, 911 Assist, mobile apps, Apple CarPlay, Wi-Fi, automatic updates, Android Auto, as well as your display settings, followed by voice control, ambient lighting, seats, valet mode, navigation, as well as personal profiles. So starting things off here, we're going to go through our sound settings. That's going to allow you to adjust things such as your treble, mid-range, and bass, your Quantum Logic 3D surround, your speed compensated volume, your balance and fade, as well as your play revel experience. Going over to your driver assistance, that's going to show you your driver assistance functions that are within the vehicle. You have your adaptive cruise control, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist for your warning, braking, and steering, speed sign recognition, rear view camera delay, which you can have on or off, blind spot information system, tow and haul, trailer sway control, hill descent control, rear cross traffic alert, reverse brake assist, driver alert, auto stop start, auto hold, as well as traction control. Again, some of these here you can enable and disable, like for example, let's say you want to stop our blind spot information system. You just turn it off like that, push it again. As you can see, it will turn itself back on. Going to our vehicle settings here. That's going to allow you to kind of go through some of these here as well, which includes your 30-minute max idle, rear occupant alert, easy entry and exit, your alarm system, remote start setup, windows, wipers, power liftgate, lighting, locks, mirrors, as well as your door keypad code. Coming over here, let's go to your general settings. That's going to give you things such as your language, temperature, units of measurement, your automatic system updates, about sync, as well as software information. You do have, of course, your 911 assist, just in case if you're going to be in need of any roadside assistance that requires law enforcement presence. Your mobile apps, of course, that's going to allow you to go into more details about that. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as you can see, they do as they say. Whether you have an Android phone, you connect to Android Auto via the Bluetooth, and the same can be said about Apple CarPlay if you have an Apple device. And then come over here. This is probably one of my favorite things here, the ambient lighting, because as you can see, you can choose from up to 7 different colors. So the blue is selected, but as you can see, it's daylight. You're not really going to see the ambient lighting unless you drive the car at night. I'm starting to really love green a lot, as you can see, and you're going to see certain elements throughout the interior in that green color. So whether you have it in blue, green, purple, yellow, light blue, or red, you are going to be getting a really nice interior feel as far as the mood is concerned. So that's really, really cool to see. And then coming down to your navigation settings, you have map preferences, route preferences, as well as navigation preferences. Going to your map preferences, of course, you can have the 3D city model on, breadcrumbs, points of interest icons, as well as incident icons. Route preferences, you can choose a preferred route, which is going to be either the fastest, shortest, or economical. Always use the fastest route. You can have that on or off. HOV lanes, eco time penalty, dynamic route guidance, which kind of works in the same, well, not works in the same way. This is going to be pretty interesting there. When you click on this here, basically it enables you to disable sync considering traffic information when planning a route. The system can find a faster route based on heavy traffic flow information, or detect a road closed incident and find a detour route if possible. And then this is kind of like what you'll see on your Google Maps or Apple Maps, where you can avoid freeways, avoid toll roads, avoid car trains, or avoid tunnels. And then seats, let's go to your seat settings. You can adjust the massage function here, which is nice. The Reserve does give that to you standard. You can adjust the seat controls for the driver as well as the passenger, as you can see. This is going to raise and lower your massage function for each section of the seat. So as you can see, for each one I go to, it's going to highlight different sections of the seat, as you can see, which is just really cool. And then you have things such as your valet mode, which is going to help keep personal belongings and stuff within the vehicle. So that way a valet cannot access it. You'll have to use a pin to actually lock it up. And then when you're done, you'll have to use that pin again to disable that valet mode. Coming back over here, automatic updates. That's going to be over the air updates that will occur over time. Wi-Fi, if you go to that, that's going to deal with your availability for the networks, as well as the Wi-Fi if you want it on or off. And so with that being said, guys, that is going to kind of be kind of in a nutshell how the infotainment system works here in the Lincoln Aviator. So with that said, that concludes the infotainment system tour of the 2021 Lincoln Aviator. And as you can see, we are back at our home screen, which, as you can see, includes your map, audio, as well as your phone connectivity. Below that, you're going to have some buttons here for your parking sensors, your camera, as well as your driver assistance. Below that, you're going to have your 10-speed automatic transmission. Put the vehicle into reverse. You do get a nice backup camera with guidance lines, and they do adjust as you turn the wheel. You also have a 360 camera right here. You also have a top-down view, and it's going to expand the camera so that it will cover every corner. You also do have that standard camera, but a bit bigger. And then you have a split screen view, as you can see there. Column below that, you're going to have this very nice wood grain finish here, which, as you can touch and kind of feel, it is real genuine wood. You're going to have your volume knob and tuning knobs. You're going to have your seat track, hazard button here, your source. This is going to be for your rear audio system, which you can have it locked or unlocked. Below that, some of your climate control settings, which includes your heated seats, as well as your ventilated seats for the front and front passenger, adjustments for your temperature, recycling, positioning, fan speed. You can also control the rear AC from just pushing this button here. You also have a heated steering wheel as well, auto AC, as well as your fan speed, as I've just mentioned before. Below that, you have a little area here, which I assume you can just put your phone in right here, use a USB-C or regular USB, and it'll charge your phone for you. And then over here, you're going to have your set of 2 cup holders, followed by a small little storage area, electronic parking brake, as well as your drive mode selector. As you can see here, coming up to where we're at, this will include things such as your normal for effortless and balanced driving, slippery for slick, icy, or loose surfaces, deep conditions for deep snow, mud, or sand, and conserve or eco for efficient driving, followed by Excite for responsive and engaging driving, basically this vehicle's sport mode. And as you can see, for each one you go to, it is going to change up the look of the gauge cluster. Come over here to the glove compartment, plenty of storage space inside, as you can see there, with a small little storage pocket over there, as well as a small LED light. One of the things about Lincolns that I've liked over the years is just the steady improvements that they've made. The seats in here, very nice and comfortable. I like the profile and the way that the seat looks. You have some very nice, thick, and aggressive side bolsters here, which will hold you into place, which is very nice. I do like the perforations coming down the middle, as it does add a bit of a nice touch to it. And overall, the seat just looks very impressive. Come over here to your glove box. It is dampened, linewood felt, and you have a decent amount of storage space inside here. You have this piano black portion here on the dash, which is very cool. You have this kind of molded injection plastic here. You're gonna have hard touch plastic on top. You have more of this very nice wood grain material continuing throughout the dash as well. You do have your frameless mirror here, followed by controls here for your overhead lights, as well as for your sunroof. Auto air refresh button is right here. This is the air purification system that I was talking about. You do also have a sunglass holder. You do have your garage home link, followed by your mirror, as well as LED lighting. And then come over here to the left, you're going to have a button to open up the cargo area. This is for your headlight and fog light controls, as well as your gauge number switches. But overall, the Lincoln Aviator does make the case of why it's still a relevant vehicle. And as you can see, even in 2025, with it being a newer one, it's going to be just as impressive as this one is. But with that being said, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the Lincoln Aviator. Coming into the second row of the vehicle, I'm going to go ahead and actually come on inside so I can show you guys the amenities a little bit more in detail. This is my driving seat position, as you can see here. When I have my knees, they're actually touching the rear of the seat, which is not too bad, and I don't feel really cramped in the back of this one here. As you can see, you have a seat pocket here. You have a seat pocket over here. You're going to have your climate control settings here, as you can see. You have seats, climate, air quality, audio, as well as your settings. You can have your little adjustments here on the side. You also have a little outlet here for USB-C or USB port, and then your 150 watt house plug-in right over here. Over here, you do have two cup holders, it's a little storage area. This right here is going to be for your sunroof, for your sunroof, as well as some extra storage space, as you can see there. You do have your coat hooks here, as well as your handles, and you do have your speakers here in the door jamb as well. This one also being the reserve, you do have your little privacy windows, as you can see. And overall, the back seat is very comfortable. It does hold me in place really well, and I wouldn't mind sitting in the second row of this vehicle because it's very comfortable. And again, materials do fall through in the back of this one. Now, here's a look at the third row, as you can see. This one here does have the Easy Fuel capless fuel filler, making it easier to fill at the gas station. Coming to the back of this one, as you can see, the Lincoln Aviator does come standard with LED taillights. You do have your LED taillight back here, and it does light up at night, and it's very, very nice. Lincoln spelled out across, and of course, overall, it does give you a very unique look, as you can see, as well as your quad exhaust outlets down at the bottom. And in true Ford fashion, just like the Explorer, you have to open up the cargo area from the inside of the vehicle. As you can see, it does have an automatic liftgate. Coming inside of the cargo area of the Lincoln Aviator, it is a great place to spend time, especially if you're someone who likes to travel a lot. So as you can see, with the third row seats up, you're looking at just over 18 cubic feet of cargo space. You can fold the seats down via these little straps here. is not going to work for me, but I think if you fold both of them at the same time, it will work. So that's what it's there for. So if you fold these down, cargo space will then increase to just over 47 cubic feet of space, which is not too bad. And then when you fold down the second row of seats, which are by these little tabs right here, as well as right over there, cargo space will then become 77.7 cubic feet of space, making it one of the more average offerings here in a mid-size 3-row SUV segment. Now, in the third row, as you can see coming into it, you do have some amenities, which does include your cup holders on this side, as well as on this side. You also have your vents here, as well as over here. You do have your carpeted floor mats in here, and underneath, you have even more storage. And when you're done, just tap this button, and it will close automatically. You do have piano black mirrors with LED turn signals on them. Under the hood of the Lincoln Aviator, we're taking a look at the same engine that's in the Ford Explorer ST. It's a 3-liter, 2-turbocharged EcoBoost V6. It produces 400 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be rated at either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and this is going to be controlled to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Alright guys, so back in the Lincoln Aviator, my second Lincoln I've ever reviewed, and I have to tell you that while that Lincoln Navigator Black Label is really nice, this is probably the one that I would personally go for. It is that impressive, it's really good at what it does, and there is no doubt in my mind that the Aviator is the better of the two. Now, a few things I did not show you guys. You do have paddle shifters here on both sides of the steering wheel, and your hands-free voices will be on top of here at the 10 o'clock position of the steering wheel. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this walk around and tour of the absolutely beautiful 2021 Lincoln Aviator Reserve, finished off in silver radiance with the ebony leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.